To quote the great Droidsmith himself, hey, Astroholics, how you doing? It's Andy here. Basically, welcome to the inaugural episode of the Plastic Droidsmith. And the reason for this is basically we've noticed a lot of people on the page saying, hey, those model kits are awesome, the Bandai kits are great, but they're just a little intimidated by them. You know, I mean, I've been building for quite some time, for, 4/5 of my life, more or less. And as you can see behind me, got quite a few of them stacked up there in my display. But a lot of people, they just basically said, it's fantastic, but I really have never built a model kit, or it's been forever since I've built a model kit. How do you even go about these? Are these difficult? So essentially, this is model building 101. Each one of these videos is going to give you, is going to give you one step in the process of how to build. Okay, so today, episode 1 of Plastic Droidsmith, yeah. 101, this is going to be how to prep, basically an introduction. So let's say you just went into the hobby store or you went to Amazon and looky there, I bought a fantastic model kit. I do have to tell you though, this particular one I think is the best value. There are ones with R2-D2 and just the rocket boosters. There's ones with R4-I9. Basically, they're all really good. Don't get me wrong. Everybody essentially has the same body. It's just different heads. But you're basically getting a 2-pack in here, okay? And I usually get these for no more than $25 on Amazon. This one actually came in the mail to me about 2 days ago. I had a gift card for my birthday, and so I ended up purchasing that one. Now, $25, actually pretty good. $30, not bad. You can usually get them for free shipping too. But like the ones with R2 and the rocket boosters, with R4-I9, R2-D2 and BB-8, I've got a couple of those kits myself too. I mean, I painted, BB-7's up there, and BB-19, they're up there as well. But basically, those are going to be pretty much the same price, if not slightly more expensive. And the reason for that, essentially, is because they're newer. They put some new engineering and some new tooling into this. And if you knew the process, basically, they have to laser cut out of a giant steel block. And they have to, reverse negative cavity those pieces. So when the plastic gets injected into them, it will fill up the hole. And then, the 2 pieces of the mold pop apart. There you go. There's your model piece. So, but anyways, they are actually a little more expensive. But like I said, you know what? Start out on this one. Because then if you want to start on 1 and you kind of screw up a little bit, you start on number 2. You know what? You've got one right there, and it didn't really cost you any extra money. So I am going to, here's my other box that I got. Oh, here we go, actually. Look at this. There's my little BB-8. Actually, Andrew Otten sent me this one. I bought that from him, and he's like, oh, well, he got rid of it for whatever reason he did, and I got it, so yay. The other fun thing I have to say about some of these is that essentially, you get a lot of extra parts in these, which is actually pretty cool. The R4-I9 kit, it comes with the, the R4 head, but then it also comes with like a whole nother sprue for the R2 head. So it's extra fun. And when I say sprue, here's some terminology for you. This is a sprue. The sprue is actually referring to this, the outline border where all of the pieces are attached. So that's your sprue. And, here's another one. Check that out. See? Easy stuff. Look at this. Body, top of the legs, bottom of the legs, that's the center leg right there. This one right here, those are his legs. Here's his shoulders, feet, bottom of the feet, battery compartments, extra doors, because he's got the little floppy doors on the side. And here we go. Look at this. Here's a sprue right there for you. That one, that's his head. Comes in 2 pieces, of course, because, see, in the back side, let's see if I can't get that in focus a little bit there. No, it doesn't want to. That's all right. You're going to insert pieces. Now, the wonderful thing about Bandai kits... Hello, Poe. How are you doing? Don't mess anything up for me, okay there, kiddo? I'm going to scoot these out of the way. Yes, this is Poe, everybody. He's a surly teenager, as usual. But anyways, yeah, he always wants to be with the action. Sully, on the other hand, is sleeping over in the recliner. He's just like, I'm 14, I'm chilling, I just want a nap. I know how he feels. But anyways, Bandai kits are wonderful for a couple of reasons. One is the engineering on these things. The engineering is marvelous. Basically, all of these pieces fit together so tightly, it's just like a puzzle. You don't even really need glue, honestly. I mean, I do have, and I do kind of recommend some Gorilla Glue like this, and it's nice because it's got the little squeezy things on the side. But you'll only really need that for a couple of parts. Honestly, all of my ones up here, more or less, I could take them all straight apart, basically down into all their component pieces. There's almost no glue in those guys whatsoever, which is nice too, because then, you know, if something happens, it breaks a little bit, you can take them apart, new pieces, put them back together again. But anyways, the engineering tolerances on these kits are so tight, it's just perfect. I mean, honestly, it's just marvelous what these are. And here's a couple examples I'll show you too. These are actually some of the other model kits that I did from Bandai, Millennium Falcon and the Tantive. So anyways, and then also too, I did the U-wing as well. So it's pretty sweet. The wings pop out. So it's got that atmospheric in-flight mode as well. So, but anyways, I painted up my own livery on this a little bit. I did an orange and a blue on it. So, but anyways, all in all, they're pretty slick. They're actually really great kits. Okay, so what you will need. Here we go. Here's the supplies you will need, and honestly, it's not a lot. Guard those, Poe. All right. Oh, hey, also too, look at this. Tiny X-Wing. Just really quick, I gotta show you this. Actually, it's so cool. Look at this. He's so wicked tiny. Look at the body, like, compared to a finger. This is going to be insane to build that one. I'm actually kind of a little bit scared, just, if anything, for the paint job. The Bandai kits do come with stickers. They also come with water slide decals. Those will be covered as well when it kind of gets to that point in building a model kit. Personally, for myself, like I did with the Falcon and the Tantive and with the U-wing, I actually painted them myself. I find that it's just a little more fun. It makes it a little more unique, a little more yours. Plus, then you can also do some really killer paint chipping if you want to make it look worn, because, hey, Star Wars is the used universe, right? Okay, so anyways, here we go. First thing you guys are going to need, well, like I said, a little super glue never hurts. Gorilla Glue, that's usually my go-to. You can use, actually, hold on a second. Let me find it. Where did it go? I have a special modeler's glue that I use. There it is. It was hiding behind the stuffed BB-8 I got for New Year's. Yeah, I know. Go to a New Year's party, come home with droids. Anyways, this stuff is for the avid model builder. This stuff is fabulous. It's a clear liquid. Comes with a little brush on the end of the tube. Basically, this stuff is called Flexifile Plastic or Plasti Weld. Okay, so basically, there we go. This stuff is wonderful. This, basically, when you use a glue, whether it's a white glue, a super glue, a wood glue, whatever it is, you essentially are creating a sandwich. You have your piece, you have your glue, you have your other piece, they stick together, and you're essentially creating a sandwich. What this stuff does, when you brush it on, it essentially has a low-grade chemical reaction, and it heats up the plastic. It makes it soft. So then when you put the two pieces together, this stuff then evaporates over a short period of time, and essentially you are creating one piece because the pieces are actually melting together. So it's actually pretty good stuff. I do like that a lot. So anyway, so there's your glues that you're going to need. Also, an emery board. Go to Walmart, go to the dollar store, grab some nail files. There are different grades, different grits, excuse me. This particular one's kind of nice because it has a rougher one on one side and a smoother one on the other side. But grab a couple different ones because, while yes, there are some times where you need to really like file down and chunk and just to get rid of some excess flash and stuff. You know, there are going to be times when you're just going to want a smoother finish. So, easy enough. also too, a lot of you, I noticed somebody was asking earlier on the page, how can I paint something without my fingers getting all sticky and all over the paint? And if I just put on a piece of cardboard and I spray paint, the tiny pieces fly all over the place. This is what I use. Check this out. Basically, dowel rods, okay? This one actually even is a chopstick. All right, go to Walmart. I know I'm saying Walmart, but everybody kind of has them pretty close, you know. Buy alligator clips, okay? Buy some alligator clips. I found them in kind of like the electronics section, I guess. And I'm talking like wiring electronics, not TV electronics, you know. But go and buy some of these, and then you can take the end of it and just slide it right on. You could even take a dab of super glue, pop it there so it doesn't really pop out. I usually take then some pliers, clamp it shut. And essentially then what you can do when you go to spray paint, clip it on. I did not clip on well. There you go, clip it on, and look at that. You then will essentially hold it at an arm's length and spray paint, and you can turn it and twist it and what have you. The dowel rod actually is really cool to use. You can buy like a, you know, what do they come in, 3-foot sections or something like that. You can do that. I've actually, I've over here, I also have a bag of, what do I want to say, like wooden marshmallow campfire sticks. So, and I got those like cheap in the fall near winter for like $1, and it had like 20 like 18-inch sticks in it. Cut them in half. Boom. I've got like about a dozen, 20 of these sitting around here at home. So these, trust me, it's worth the investment and a little bit of time to go and get a 6-pack at least of alligator clips for like $2 and go and, you know, raid your local Chinese restaurant for some chopsticks. So also then too, check it out. Here we go. Walmart. I know Walmart seems to have everything, but sometimes they usually do. Check this out. Here we go. All in the tool aisle. Here's the snips that you need, okay? Comes with a little pair of needle nose pliers, but they do have a wire cutter right there. But yeah, these are definitely ones exactly like what you need. And look at that price. Not bad. Just $5. Alrighty, so there we go. There's my adventure in Walmart for you. Nail clipper, I shouldn't say nail clippers, wire clippers. I've got a couple pairs of these. This is the one I most commonly use because for me, it's got a really, really thin tip on it. So it's nice and easy. So here's what we're going to do, folks. Here is your first step into a larger world. Take your sprue, all right? Take them all. And let's see, we're going to have these pieces. There's the stand, all right? Don't necessarily need to deal with that now. But then, let's see. Let's get rid of that silver one. I mean, for each droid, you're essentially going to have more or less 3 sprue. Some pieces are duplicated because obviously the droids all look alike in the body. All right, so what we're going to do now, when these are made, and like I remember I told you they're clamped between 2 pieces of steel to make the mold. Right, well, every time, or not every time, but very often the inside of those molds are sprayed with a release agent. It's basically just a greasy substance that allows the pieces, once they are made, to just pop out and drop out of the mold easily. So we need to clean off the release agent. Now, I do want to tell you, though, if you plan to paint, this is actually a really good idea. If you're not going to paint it, like I said, obviously you can see, you know, these come in color. You know, look at the goldish part right there. Those are the foot hoses. And then all the blue pieces, and then the white pieces, and, you know, silver pieces, and they're all in color. If you're not going to paint, don't worry about this next step. Because like I said, this is all prep step, all right? We are actually going to go and wash the pieces because that greasy substance, the release agent, is just very vaguely still laying on the pieces. Some of it evaporates, but it can affect the paint quality that goes onto your kit. Okay, so if you're going to paint, and we're going to do that entire step of painting, and we'll show you how to do that. But let's head over into the kitchen, and I'll show you what I do. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. Let's get, and yes, having a tub will help greatly, okay? You don't want to lose any pieces if they happen to fall off. I'm making the water a little bit warm. There we go. Warm water would be best. Grab your soap. A little bit of soap in there, okay? And you're basically just going to wash your parts. That's all you're going to do. So, got a nice soft sponge. And you're just going to wash them just like you're washing your dishes, essentially. That's all you're going to do. Go wash them like you're washing dishes. There we go. Let's get that off. Just pat it down a little bit. Just do some light rubbing. Be careful though, because like I've said before, you do have small pieces on this, okay? So, we are going to do this. And like I said, this helps with the release agent. Okay. So, when we do paint, the paint will go on smoothly, because you know that release agent probably didn't dry evenly or anything like that. Alright, and like I've said before, right here, the little hose wires, these are the most frustrating things on this entire kit. Why? Because they are so tiny and they are so thin. Even clipping those things off with those wire trimmers I showed you, they will snap. But you know what? That's kind of a cool thing, because if it does happen with this kit, I can show you what to do with it. Okay? So look at that. Easy enough. Alright, so we're just going to wash all that. Let those rinse off. And honestly, I just let these pieces air dry a little bit. I'll pat them down, but you know what? You can never kind of get into all those little nooks and crannies really with a towel. So plan ahead a little bit. You know what? Wash them the night before and then let them dry overnight. Alright guys, one other thing I thought about too, if you're really anxious to get going on those parts, why you could take a blow dryer. Honestly, I think I use my wife's blow dryer more than she does for drying off model parts, getting acrylic paint to dry quickly. So if you're really anxious to get going on those parts, go ahead, use a blow dryer. And I know it seems kind of crazy, but you know what? It's a bit of a multi-step process to do all this. But really, one of these can pretty much, if you're not going to paint, can be thrown together in one night. Give it a couple hours. And you will find that this can actually be a pretty fun and rewarding hobby. I'm going to throw up some pictures of the astromechs that I've done so you can see everything. I've bought this particular kit probably about 6 times, and I have yet to build R2-D2 and R5-D4 because they're iconic. You know, if you don't get that blue-purple color of R2 just right, it just looks a little off. So, but anyways, I'm sure I'll do them eventually. For me, the fun is creating all the other droids, the background droids, the non-hero ones that you see. I like all those guys because, for me, it's really fun just figuring out everybody's story. So anyways, thanks for coming to episode 1 of the Plastic Droidsmith, and we will see you soon for episode 2.